How do I tell her that I'm having the time of my life just sitting next to her? That I'm sorry if I come off as shy or awkward, but I just enjoy being in her presence so much that I just don't want to ruin anything, so I just stay silent. How do I tell her that I just love watching her exist? I've recently accepted a part of myself that makes sense, that I'm demisexual. And for me, that means I basically have to be borderline in love with someone before I feel sexual attraction to them. And since I've been discovering this part of myself, it's raised a bit more questions for me. How do I navigate romantic relationships? Because the usual dating advice I've gotten, like both solicited and unsolicited, is that if the attraction is there, just go for it and tell them immediately. Don't waste time trying to befriend them and then just decide from there. Just ask them out right then and there. Or even worse, I've been told just hook up with whoever wants me. Like if there's an attraction, if I think they're cute and they just want to have sex, then yeah, go for it. And especially when they bring up how, oh well, you don't have experience, Santa, so you might as well just get some. But usually, as you could have guessed from what I said earlier, I don't find someone attractive until I know them first, romantically or sexually. And that's why I'm fully accepting now that a lot of dating advice just doesn't resonate with me. For example, I've never been on a dating app. I'm 24 and I've never been on one and never will. The idea of dating apps has just always felt uncomfortable to me. For one thing, treating people, including myself, as just online products, or how, for example, even social media as a whole, in and of itself, has already made me feel extremely self-conscious and harm my self-esteem. So I feel like being on a dating app would just make that 10 times worse. And finally, I just don't like being on my phone that much. I already hate how high my screen time is as it is, and I feel like being on a dating app would just make that even worse. So, for all those reasons and a bit more, I've just avoided them altogether. Back to her again. I didn't see her in a romantic way when we first met, but now I do. And now I feel guilty because it's like the more I see her, the more I want to see her. It's almost never enough. Like, I walk away and I'm wondering when I'm gonna see her again. Truthfully, I don't like feeling this way. I really don't like the person I become when I'm interested in someone. Because what do you mean all I'm thinking about is her, no matter what I'm doing? What do you mean I can hardly form a sentence or hold eye contact because it's with her? What do you mean I overthink every single interaction we have to the point where I don't even reach out to her even though I want to so badly because I don't want to disturb her or I don't want to come off as clingy? Like, you see the overthinking in this? Now, I know what you may be thinking. Santa, you're grown. Just tell her. But mind you, I've been in situations like this before. The number one reason why I haven't told her is because I don't want to make things awkward between us. We have mutual friends, mutual interests, and I just don't feel like repeating the same kind of situations that I have been in the past. And I admit, I do have rejection sensitivity. I've been interested in people before, but I've never heard a yes. I've never dated anyone, I've never kissed anyone, none of that. So, unfortunately, whenever I find myself feeling butterflies in my stomach when I'm around someone, my brain is trained to take that as a sign of, oh, they're not gonna like you. So, where does this leave me? I think I wanna calm myself down a bit because when I see her, the yearning starts again, and I have to actively work to tone it down, to not let it take over, to not let my mind spin out of control about the what ifs and what does this mean, all of that. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm just so used to being on my own, to being Superman, basically, handling my business, nurturing my goals, just not needing anyone. And then I see her, and suddenly I'm reminded that I'm human again. And I don't always like that reminder. There's a strange kind of peace when I'm finally over someone. When my mind is quiet again. When I'm just me all up in here. No yearning, no overthinking, not replaying every single glance, none of that. I've just got a lot on my mind. Goals that I want to achieve, a version of myself that I'm currently building, and I just don't know if I have room for thinking about someone like this. I don't know if I have room for another person in my life in that way. And that's the hardest part for me. Wanting someone, like actively yearning for someone, because I admit I'm a lonely person. I would say I'm a deeply lonely person. I often think about getting into a romantic relationship and what that would be like. But I also love the solitude and the stillness I have just being with myself. So I'm not going to rush anything or push for anything. I'm not going to force clarity where I don't have any yet. I'm just going to allow myself to feel these things and trust that the answer, whatever form that may be, is just going to come to me when it's supposed to.